I never understood why men get frustrated with a woman for nagging and complaining. That's literally feminine energy. That's what they gonna do. It's like they are striving for perfection, so they're gonna find things that are imperfect to complain about. And a lot of the times it's gonna be you, nigga. And it's like when you understand that, you don't take it personal. You just find ways to mitigate it. I started. What's going on is the Wolf, and we are back with another episode of the Wolf Has Spoken podcast, America's fastest growing podcast.
Universe!
The universe's fastest growing podcast, when we encourage you to get 1% better every single day and every single way. And I'm extremely excited today. First of all, I'm joined by my guy, Mr. Right on Q Live. What's up, good brother? How you feeling? Also excited to big shout out to her fantasy box. Make sure y'all go shop with her fantasy box. And as y'all can see on screen, we got some of the products. So y'all can go get that Body Magic, that slippery box that renew her. You know, they dropping new shit. I actually seen like they got like body oils and all that now.
Okay.
So they up to the notch. It's going from supplements to like products that you can actually put on your body. So
shout out to them always.
Yeah, big shout out to always elevating and growing. And yeah, man, I'm excited because we back home. Like,
feel good to be home.
Yeah, because it's like hotel living. You enjoy the hotel or the Airbnb the first couple days, but then you be like, man, I miss my bed. Like,
yeah.
And I feel like it's something about just being home. It's just a reminder. Like, even when I first walked in and seen the set, I'm like, damn, as much as I like our pod trips, it's nothing like being home.
Yeah, absolutely.
How you feeling, man?
I ain't gonna, well, first, I'm gonna let you go first. How do you feel? Anything interesting happened lately?
I missed 3 flights.
I mean...
And one day, all right, so
anything out the norm happened.
No, I didn't miss 3 flights because like that sounds like we're going backwards. The first flight I missed because I told you it was like it went from like 5:50 to 7:05 layover. That 5 to 7 made me think I had 2 hours when it really was like an hour, and I just mistimed it. So I got there a little bit after the time I could check my bag. I could have got on the plane and made it on time, but I just would have been traveling lighter than I like. I would have had to like leave shit. I wasn't with that. So I was like, all right, fuck it. Then I go back to the airport, buy a new flight, and they delay that flight. And then come to find out they delay it till taking off at 12 midnight. TSA closed at 10 p.m. So now I can't check a bag. So then they do the beauty into this. I didn't have to pay for my 3rd flight. Cause I told you, I was like, fuck that shit. I was pissed. I'm like, I'm not paying for 3 flights. I called. I was like, let me be responsible. Let me see if I get my money back. So when I called, I looked at their policies online. Because remember when I was in line and I was on the phone with you, the lady was talking about something about the policies and shit. She wasn't even talking about what I ended up looking up, but I ended up looking it up anyway. Like, I'm like, let me see what the policy is on this shit. So they say if they delay it and it's over a certain amount of time, they'll refund you or they'll replace you for no charge. So although the flight was higher, they had to replace me because they delayed it. It was over the time frame, and it took 2 seconds. She's like, yeah, we'll put you on the next flight. It's gonna leave in the morning. And it didn't throw off our schedule today. So. It was like one of the things where it worked in my favor that it was coming in a day early than coming in the day of, because essentially all the little fuck ups, it was still wiggle room. I still got to do everything I had to do. So I feel jittery from that because I felt like I never settled in. So that was the interesting thing, just being driving to the airport 3 times, paying to park, it's $30 a day once you enter that bitch. So paying to park and just going through the process. But what I will say is I learned a couple little minor things to be more efficient with my airport process. That was different than what I learned before. What I learned before was like the time management. This shit was like how to bypass the airport shit. So I felt like, I was like, all right, cool. I learned that TSA closed at 10 p.m. I figured out the parking lot. That's essential because sometimes for me, when I'm running 10, 15 minutes like away from my cutoff time, parking be taking up 10 of that. But now I know how to work the parking lot. That's 2 minutes. I know exactly where to go. No car's going to be. I know how to get straight to the terminal. So yeah, it was a little inconveniencing, but at the same time, I left with something. So, that's how I feel in this moment. I could talk about how I feel ultimately, I guess, as the conversation unfolds.
Yeah, I was going more so heavy speak to in general how you've been.
I knew you was about to say that. That's why I said I was gonna let that unfold.
Okay, later. Okay, cool.
Yeah, in general, I feel good. I'm on my 3rd month of fasting. You broke your fast. You're not fasting. I seen you drinking like publicly or whatever it may be. I was gonna call you out on the phone, but I'd rather do it on the platform.
I respect it.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't plan this. It just reminded me when I said it. I was like, wait. I legitimately seen you toasting up with my goddaughter. She had water, but you was literally drinking.
Did she?
Did she? I don't know if you want to say that. Well, tripping. That's probably when she said that shit to me. I'm still a little. We was talking about that another day. She straight up came at me like at 4. Like she 5 now or 4?
5 now.
Fucking 5-year-old. But all in all, though, in a nutshell, what I will say is yeah, I'm my 3rd month of fasting. So a couple weeks of being done. I didn't do everything we said. Like I didn't read 10 pages a day. But I've read or listened to something educational every single day. Like I read some of my Bible, but I didn't read my Bible every day. But I do pray and all that every day, of course. But everything else I did, though. You know, my gym schedule was weird, but I still go 3 to 4 times a week. So everything I said I was going to do, I did. But I finally did start interacting with women again. So the first 2 months, even though I didn't have to cut everybody off, I cut everybody off. This month I started getting numbers and texting because I'm trying to like time it. Like by my birthday, by the end of the fast,
it's up.
I got some shit in the crock pot already ready to go. You know what I'm saying? That shit versus trying to start a conversation and then it feel like I'm like off schedule. Or I gotta go try to double back.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't trying to double back. I'm trying to like have a fresh connection that's intentional.
Because we double up, we double down, but
we don't double back. You know, but yeah, so I'm trying to have some fresh and you know, chemistry and compatibility around this time around. So yeah, man, I feel good. And the last thing I'll say, because I don't like when I'm 5 minutes in and I ain't hear how you felt. The last thing I will say about how I feel too is just like I'm looking at it like, all right, cool. I feel like we progressing again. I feel progressive. I feel like we hit that 3-month fucking plateau, and it was, we could think about it, we shaved a couple things like within the internal, and I felt like it made us lighter, and it was like now it's on me to get this shit. So instead of me sitting around for 6 hours hoping somebody do something, I just started getting back in my bag, and I'm just recently we see the increase in our outcome. And I also did, you know, land another partnership on the business side. You know, we got our one contract lined up with the staffing side, so shout out to us for that. And yeah, we just, everything is just progressing. That's the best I can put it.
Definitely dope to hear. So on my end, my life was in shambles actually.
You could have gave me 10 answers and I would have never guessed that he was gonna say shambles.
But no, so speaking of the fast, yeah, so once we kind of, you know, shave some things to kind of repivot some energy, I kind of just lost some motivation with the, you know, I was like, I'm kind of off or whatever.
You niggas are quit on us.
Yeah, I was kind of
you tried to break up with us. There's no we gotta get Ricky an angle. We need to check Ricky reactions. They need to see this shit.
Yeah. So I was like, whatever. So so that happened, and then, but you know, so you know, right now as we speak, right now I got movers at my crib. Dealing with my old spot to the new spot and shut that, but hopefully I was
his wife doing the hard work. We're good.
I did most of the. I literally did all the hard work. Actually, the mover's doing the hard work. I did everything else.
She overseeing.
Yeah, she doing like fucking 10%. But so that's happened. But I've generally, jokes aside, I feel like I'm just honestly off center, and I've been feeling like that for the past few weeks.
I understand.
Yeah, I feel like I've just been off center. I feel like, you know, that turbulence, you know, trying to get to a certain point, whatever. So, you know, like dealing with it, anybody know you ever moving just always gonna have you just kind of off, whatever. Even just where
you can't get in a rhythm.
Yeah, literally no rhythm at all. Where your clothes at, trying to establish the move when it's gonna happen. You know, communicating with the landlord and the new landlord, all this type of shit, whatever. Make sure my daughter rhythm, that's the one rhythm that can't get affected. She still got to be in place, whatever. Also, shit going on my job where like it was certain things that, you know, projects getting done, whatever. But overall, how I feel at this current, like the last month, I've just been reflecting on towards the end of the year. And I feel like by the end of the year, I'm happy to where it's headed. And I think, like, you know, with what we got going on, I agree with you. I feel we definitely in a good stride again, whatever. At first it was kind of like in a weird place.
It was turbulence.
Yeah, it's turbulence, whatever, a little stagnation. But for now, we in a nice little coasting period again, whatever, coasting to ascension. And I feel like where I'm at, I look back at last year, like, yeah, I got married this year.
Yeah.
I went back to San Diego for the first time, took my mom there. I got my daughter into her school where she's going to be at for the next few years. Yeah. We get in a new place. And I feel all that has been things that's been on my mental checklist for a couple years now.
Yeah.
So looking at all that happen in 1 year, I'm looking forward to coasting out to the end of this year, ride it off, and then next year be like, all right, cool, now let's build on there, whatever. Yeah. Literally unpacked and did a lot of unpacking this year, whatever. So I think all that's kind of culminate into this last week or two where it's like, shit, like such of it. Yeah. Like definitely feel a little exhausted a little bit, whatever. But I feel it's only connected to like once we get into this new crib, the new energy, we shedded a lot of shit, like you know, throwing away stuff and giving away things. And once we get in there fully comfortable in that peace and it's like, oh yeah, like just feel fully recharged and refreshed. So I'm looking forward to that.
And to your point though, this nigga ain't tell y'all that this shit is self-induced. He literally uprooted his life. Like the shambles he talking about, he created. Like it's not like
turbulence is necessary.
Nah, this nigga shook the plane himself.
I said, we moving in 4 days?
Yo,
let's get it down in 4 days. Yeah,
yo, he went from no, I'ma just chill. I'm on a month, I'm not about to move. Till I found a spot, got the keys, did everything, and I'm moving it on Wednesday. Nigga, what?
Some turbulence.
It's Sunday morning. What you mean? You moving on Wednesday?
Yeah, it's supposed to be sooner. It's some shit happened in the midst of this planning where it end up getting pushed out. I don't know. This shit gonna be done instead of 7 days, literally in 4 days. And so
you can't. This nigga went in there and bench pressed 415 and he complaining like,
hey, don't feel sorry for me. I'm just
but what I will say to your point,
and my daughter's birthday just passed, you know, so that was the whole thing. There's a lot of things going on. Like,
this year I could definitely see it was transitional and a lot. I felt like that was how last year was for me. Like I moved 3 times in 1 year. You feel what I'm saying? So I know that literally like can't get into a rhythm, can't get into a flow because every time you look up, you got to do something that requires you to, and it's like you just waiting to get back to Monday through Sunday. Like I'm just waiting to know what my Monday through Sunday about to look like because right now and every day feel like the weekend, and then every now and again a Monday creep in and I got shit to do, and it just feel like there's a lot going on. So I understand that completely, but I think it is dope that after we talked about all this stuff throughout the year, you know, the marriage, the move, the school change, you didn't do everything the way you wanted to do it, but it still came together in a way that's like, I don't know if it's better because I'm not in your shoes, but I could just see like it still you got everything you wanted from it.
For sure.
You got a good school district, got a good living situation. And do you feel like the location is like better, or do you feel like you would have still wanted the other one?
I mentioned to you before, like because I was so dead set on, no, I just want to be out the way and all that shit. Well, to me, it's not maybe as good, but I still feel good about it.
Yeah,
like it's still a progressive sense, whatever.
And that's how it always be though. It'd be like you got to. That's why they say. I think that is why they say aim for the moon, right? You'll land amongst the stars because you set your sights here, and then you land right under it. You like, I ain't get there, but if you set your sights here, it's like under that is like shambles.
Backwards.
You were like, what the fuck? And the negatives. But I think that that's why thinking big and dreaming big is key, because it's like, it really is one of the things where like, yo, I set my sights to have this, but it's like when you HR, you go in there, you tell somebody to negotiate, they say they want 110, say you want 130. Because if you say you want 130, you're gonna end up at like you might get 115, which is higher than what you want. But if you get 100, you ain't get 80. So you still happy versus you want 100, you say you want 100, then they give you 80 and you settle for the 80. I love someone. So it's like, aiming high but still getting close enough to it is always fulfilling. And I feel like that's what every move, I always had this grand, like I want this type of spot. Then I get the spot, I'm like, you know what? I'm actually happy I got this spot over that spot because this spot make way more sense. I remember wanting this crib in Cherry Hill, and we was moving out of the apartment. That's not my relationship. We moving out the apartment, and we was looking for like a crib. We got all these fucking kids. Let's find a house. So we find this nice big ass. The house was little. It was an illusion. The backyard was huge. It was like an acre back there. No bullshit. You could play football. You could have a cookout. All types of shit going in that backyard. Nice driveway. Like got this patio porch on a nice looking residential Cherry Hill block. Like it just like gave like middle class wealth, right? Because at the time it was like this gave that at the highest level. Kitchen, fire, 2 living rooms. You walk into the living room, but then they got the living room. You know how the living room that you're not supposed to sit in.
For sure.
Had one of them type of living rooms, like this a room that's just for decoration. You don't touch this fucking.
I wish you would fucking go in your kids.
Yeah, like you go anywhere near this room, like you don't touch nothing. The plastic don't come off these couches. Grandma math. You don't give a fuck if it's summertime. But then they got the actual living room that was fire. Then you got the patio, the backyard. It was just all this shit. A fucking studio in the basement, legitimately a recording studio in the basement. A fucking like it was just like it sound crazy, but the crib wasn't that big. But all the shit it had, it was big, but it wasn't like probably what you would assume it'd be. It was like a regular, probably like 2,200 square foot type of crib, but a studio in the basement, motherfucking 4 bedrooms. The caveat to it was it had 1 bathroom.
Ass.
And the 1 bathroom didn't have a tub. It was just a shower. So y'all use all the space. But I was so strung on everything else. Like, fuck that shit. Like, we'll figure that part out. Like, it literally had one bathroom, and I didn't like the way the rooms were. Like, they was like room, but they was kind of shaped weird. The way that it was gonna be. But I was strung on it. They denied us. Had they not denied us, I would have got it. I ended up getting another crib that had all of that, finished basement, all of that. They have a studio, but had a finished basement with a bar. You can host, big backyard, cool front yard, garage, and 3 bathrooms or whatever the case may be. So it ended up being one of them things where like I had my sights set on this crib, but I ended up finding one that was $500 a month cheaper. And it had more to offer what we really needed versus my selfish wanting something like this nice looking ass crib, but we all scrambling and crammed in this one bathroom when I don't even want to share a bathroom. So speaking of bathrooms, my boy just upgraded, man.
Yeah. So, you know, if you don't know, you know, one, we are part of the committee of people that believe in separate.
Bitch, I started the committee. Excuse my language.
Yeah. Fair. I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at the committee. I started the committee.
But does that not mean we're both a part?
He a chairman. He a chairman of the committee.
Yeah. So, you know, separate bathrooms and just in general, separate quarters in general. We need our territorial spaces, whatever.
In the man caves.
Yeah. You know, I'm out talking to my wife about it. I'm like, yeah, like, do you think like a woman should be allowed like in a man cave? Like to just be chilling there, like without the man? She's like, yeah, why not? I'm like, it's literally a man cave. Like, it's like, I'm not even mad at the idea of saying you could be down there with him if he allows you. Be cool with it. But to be there watching his TV, we not there, that's fucking insane. That's just wild as hell.
Would you be in your fucking kid's room, like watching the fucking TV, while you're not in there?
Yeah,
like you just laying in the crib, like playing their toys. Like, I'm like, no, that's not the same. Yes, the fuck it is. It's a dedicated space for this person. Why you think it's not the same? Like, get the fuck out my man cave.
Yeah, so I ain't get to that stage yet, but like
that's the trajectory.
That's
so
you
would have a man cave. Absolutely. Yeah, I think they're necessary. That's what I had. I said just the basement, just let me have the basement. I put my game down there. I just don't want to be bothered. My desk was down there, my game. I never maximized it till its full potential. But what I will say is I did have my space. Like, it wasn't like it was being invaded. Nobody came down there. It was cold. That's the nuttiest part. Like, you're like, I had a space heater in that bitch. It did no justice. Like, it was cool.
Yeah, so we got the two to your point about, so this place I was about to pay something, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
And this joint is $600 cheaper. And
that's beautiful.
Yeah. And it got, all that we need, whatever. And including the extra bedroom for her closet. I don't want to see this shit ever again. Yeah. And then they got the extra bathroom with the glass shower, this and that, whatever. And she already know the deal. I'm like, I'm setting up wolf math. I'm setting a boundary. I'm communicating. This is the boundary. If you cross this boundary, it's gonna be a problem.
Absolutely.
So I already know she's gonna violate that. We don't have to deal with that later. Whatever. I sat Queen down. I said, Queen, baby. I said, right here. And I said, baby, you can't go. You see the bathroom? You can't go in there. She, it's nice. I know. Don't go in there. Don't ever go in there. She said, you gonna kick me out if I do? Yes. Absolutely. You can get those. Absolutely, yes. Now, she might set up because she want to do that. But so I'm definitely happy about it, and the space was needed, and that's a part of it. Outside of being new and better, it's just more to it. So,
And I think even to that, right, that's the thing that, like, we often do that I notice that men often don't do. Men don't set firm boundaries within spaces to operate that's in the confinements of your family, but is exempts them from being able to violate. And that's like one of the things where it's like we're just accept it for what it is. Like, it's because a lot of times like men will be non-confrontational in that way, or just don't want to look like an asshole. I've noticed that a lot of men struggle with setting boundaries because we got this thing that I call giver's guilt. Whereas like we guilt ourselves into feeling like we gotta solve every problem. Now we are problem solvers. We are solutionists, and we should. And it's funny because what fulfills us also drains us depending on the capacity in which we have or don't have. So the guilt come in that where it's like, we don't believe we can have a dedicated space for us where you can't come down. Some men stand on business. We are some men. I stand on it. Y'all can't fucking come down here. But a lot of men can't get that Sunday to themselves, or they can't get 4 hours on a game, a couple hours. They can't get a night out with the homies. And they can if they're willing to go through the turbulence. But because they then feel like, damn, I don't want to hurt her feelings, or I don't want to upset the kids, or I don't want to seem like I'm being selfish, I got to give them this part of me as well. They guilt themselves into not having a boundary. And it happens a lot. Like fathers do it. Like, it's like, you don't really want to look like the bad guy. But this is how, it's funny because this is how like This is when you really become a dad. When you able, or a man, when you able to look the people you love in the face and tell them no, not because you're being selfish or not because you're trying to deprive them, but because it's just no, right? It's like, it don't even need no extra reasoning for why it's no. You know your reasoning, but without explanation, without wanting to be understood for why you're saying no, because you don't want to face that scrutiny or that, oh, my dad always, or he always, Once you get comfortable with that, life become easy because now you can have those boundaries where you can sit them down and say, look, this is my fucking bathroom. You can't come in my bathroom like, y'all got 2 other bathrooms, y'all can do whatever y'all want. You got a whole closet, you can do this, a whole room for you. You can do whatever the fuck you want, do your thing. But this right here is mine. Don't touch this fucking game system. Don't touch this fucking TV. Don't touch my fucking bathroom, and everything else y'all can have. It's like, I ain't gonna lie, when you were young, my mom used to have a rule we couldn't drink her Pepsi. We was fucking them Pepsis up. It was adult drink. No, the fuck they got. It was little, it was a can. If I can fit in my hand, it's a can, I'm drinking that joint.
But no, so I was gonna bring it up, and I was having a conversation with my stepdad recently, and he was talking about some shit about women. You know, that's when we start bonding. You know, I used to hate my stepdad, but we start bonding when we start realizing, we can both like vent about women being crazy and annoying, like including my mom. So that's like we get our shit off. Like, so as he was saying something to me, and I've had this thought for a while, but it kind of further crystallized this conversation. I realized, like, a lot of men really just, now of course it's gonna sound cliche because we talk about this a lot, but the point is, a lot of men really don't be leaders, but they really believe they are. Yeah. So even when a lot of men, like, so it's like, you may make the money, you may pay for a lot of shit, you may be tough and strong and about to do all this other shit, or are you truly leading your household? Are you truly leading your woman, your partner, your family, or is your wife, your partner, girl, really make all the fucking decisions? Yeah. And you may make it, you may can't even realize that. And I think my stepdad truly never realized that my mom ran our house. Yeah. And
I think you realized that older though. I think because you came to realization like at what age?
Yeah, probably after like college, let's say 20s, late 20s, some shit like that, whatever. And I don't know. Because
you knew back then too?
I think because I had tension towards him, I probably never just even,
you didn't respect it.
Thought out fleshed out the thought.
You get what you want anyway, because like, I need the person in charge is on my side.
No, it wasn't like that, because I did respect him as a man, figure and shit like that, whatever. No, for sure, like, but like, I did respect that as a figure, but I never just thought about, who really running shit, this and that, because, he paid the money, he all this shit, whatever. But in the day, the reason why certain shit didn't happen is because my mom had her hands on the fucking steering wheel, and he never did it with it. He never said, yo, this is what the fuck we doing. Yeah. By any means, this is what we doing, whatever. Yeah. And I was even talking to my barber, actually, about the whole boundaries thing.
Stepdad.
My other stepdad, yeah. And we was talking about, like, I was like, literally, I'm about to get the bathroom and the bedroom, shit like that. No, you live in a woman, you need 5 bedrooms for them, because this and that. And I could tell he was speaking from experience, saying, like, I did it, and it was never enough. I had to keep doing more, because the garage was this, and that. I'm like, and my mom thinking, like, I'm not going through that. Yeah. This gonna be this,
and that's what
this make it work. Yeah, like, ain't gonna be like, oh no, I need a second bedroom for my closet now. Yeah. Fuck all of that.
Like, you gonna throw some of this shit out. I'm gonna throw some of this shit out.
So I feel like that's because you're not really leading things. You actually let her lead you.
No, that's a fact.
But you like, okay, I'm the one paying for the bedroom. I'm the one paying for the mortgage. I'm doing the construction. But no, she the one dictating the shit happening.
She controlling the budget. Yeah. And you never, as a man, you should never let a woman control your budget, because that's how you end up overspending, over leverage, and then you're gonna still end up getting called broke when you run through all your money. So it's about having financial boundaries, and the best way to have that is to lead the discussion when it comes, especially in the dating realm, right? Like, most of the time, like, we already know, we talk about it all the time, putting women in la-la land, where it's like, she don't want to think. She want to be in her fucking phone scrolling, looking at fucking makeup and watching TikToks while you figure everything out. But how that actually looks in practice is, instead of asking a woman where you want to go, because now you're making her think and you're giving her control of the budget, you say, what do you like to eat? Once you tell me what you like to eat, I'm going to decide where we go. Because if you say you like steak, I get to choose between Longhorn and Eddie V's. You don't get to tell me we're going to Eddie V's, because in a way to do it, to not end up in a predicament where you feel uncomfortable about your decision, make sure that you do your due diligence, you know what I'm saying? And there's a place that you can stand on, because they care more about the experience. Yeah, aesthetics is high on their list, but at the same time, they are getting to so many aesthetically pleasing situations and dates to where they're not even interested in the date. It's just the aesthetic. But if you take them to a place that they're interested in, the aesthetics won't matter, because they'll remember the vibe that was set. And it allows for you as a man to have control over what you spend. So you don't got to be at the table thinking about how you about to pay this $200-300, because you know this shit not about to crack $80. And there's so many creative things you could do within a budget. So when we talk about leading, it starts there. It starts with being able to take the responsibility off of them, but getting insight and data from them that allows you to make an educated decision. Because niggas just don't want to fuck up. So nigga like, man, you know what? I'm just ask her what she want, because if you say you want it, I can't fuck up. But you can ask that without making it a direct thing. Literally like, yo, what type of stuff you like to eat? One of my favorite things to ask a woman early is, what's 50 things you never did? This gives me a list of shit to go over. I talk about it all the time, and it literally gives me food restaurants to think about. It gives me locations if I want to plan a trip. It gives me gifts if I want to buy, because these are things that you said that you like or that you wanted to do that you haven't experienced, and it allows me the opportunity to crack your virginity with it. Because that's my whole goal, right? I got to be first at something. If I can't be the first to open you up, I got to be the first in some type of experience, and that comes from me leading in that direction. But how that translates into the household, because it's an effect where it go, oh, she been choosing the date spots, now she choosing where y'all live, and when her choosing where y'all live, guess what? She choosing the overhead. So now you sitting here over leverage paying $2,900 a month. No, damn well that's not your budget. That's not what you want. Where you can literally just ask her, what does she want in a place? Right? You would be surprised if you ask a woman, what do you consider getting money? What's a comfortable amount of money to you that if you had this amount, you would feel like you could live off? That number's don't be that high. It only triple and 10x when they put you in the equation. So you ask them about, their number is never high. I'm telling you, it's never high. Like they don't even think that they like. Now, granted, some women I'm around, they get a lot of bread. So but the average woman don't even think past 6 figures. So it's like, it's only 6 figures when it pertains to you. So if you already know that her taste is naturally here, you just got to give her a little bit better and let it progress. But if you say, yeah, what you want, or she pull out her wish list, she's going to pull out that Amazon cart, the shit she wants, not the shit that she's actually been exposed to and the shit that will actually make her happy, but the shit she wants. And next thing you know, she done led you into financial destruction because you ain't take control of the will and say, you know what, that's not in the budget. You said you need 2 bathrooms. You said you like gas stoves, not electric. You said you like, I'm going to find all of this in my budget. If you want to stay under 2K, I'm gonna find all this under 2K. I'm not about to allow you to have me paying an extra $900 because the backsplash in the kitchen is marble. You got me fucked up.
Yeah, because you may be also account for shit that she actually don't care about.
Exactly.
Like, do she even want the acre yard?
100%.
Do she even want a second living room and shit like that? So I'm just saying that, for example, like, it's certain that you even doing that's like, oh, she won't even care about, so that's also messing up the budget or whatever, because you're not even being intentional with the budget.
Or making her be intentional.
Right.
Like, do you even care about, like, what do you care most about? Do you care more about backsplash, marble backsplash, or do you care more about us getting a 3rd bedroom? Because this at 2,200 is going to give us 2 bedrooms, but this at 2,200 is going to give us 4 bedrooms. Which one is we going with? Do you like what matters the most? And that comes from leading.
And actually, you know, the wolf math, you know, the infamous one talking about how a man should move into a woman's place. You know, I actually heard like
about that too. Good.
Okay, I heard about a reverse situation, but it all connects to the whole who's leading things, whatever. So a man had bought a house. He bought a house during 2021. You know, interest rates were super low, so he had a good deal, decent house, whatever. Boom. So he's with his girl. They get married. So you already know, for real, it's your house, but cool. Your name, her name is technically not on the house though, whatever. But y'all married. So for some reason or another, she wanted a new house. I want a house that we get together as ours, whatever. So they get the new house is even further away from the village, whatever they have, kind of, so to speak, whatever. It's bigger, but definitely not better. So it's just new. And then also they just had a baby, so now they moving with the baby, which is a lot of shit going on, whatever. And then from the guy perspective, from my deduction, is like, you know, I could have just stayed at the other house for real. I really didn't want it. There's a lot of shit going on with the baby. Like, it was kind of like a chaotic thing unnecessarily. And I was thinking to myself, like, y'all just probably shouldn't have moved then. Like we just not moving now. Like he's like, I probably could stay there at least 3 more years. Cause I was there for 5. I could stay there for 3 more. Then we could have got really the best situation when it was time. But she kind of forced the hand. Now we like, oh, so now how long do we stay here now? Cause this like no situation.
You can't let her impulse create your decisions, because her impulse can't disrupt your foresight. And I feel like that's the thing that like it has happened, like where it's like she want to move. I get it. A lot of times women don't want to move into a man place because you never know their upbringing. Like for one, it's twofold. One could be they could have had situations where they felt insecure, you know, which, you know, instability and security is their number one, you know, priority, to where though if they don't have it, they not at ease. But the other part of it is just could be what society also puts in their mind of that type of shit, right? So it's like now they thinking that, oh, you ain't moving our place, we not moving your place, we got to get a new place. No, we don't. We don't got to do that. Literally, we're going to do what makes the most sense for our future. But again, it all goes back to leadership. And like men embrace your dominance. Like stop. Don't minimize what you were put here to do. Dominance don't mean you have to have control. You just have to have things under control. And they're two different things. Control is it has to be my way. Under control is just managing things and mitigating risk and losses while allowing for things to function smoothly. But do not sacrifice your dominance to avoid disagreement, to avoid a little bit of collide and everything. Because the thing about it is,
still gonna happen.
It's still gonna happen, but the other part is sometimes conflict is necessary to push it forward. A lot of the greatest laws and shit was passed, like bills, not even laws, bills and things was passed behind conflict. So if you got a conflict, this is the perfect opportunity to resolve the conflict, to be able to make progress. It shouldn't be sitting in conflict. But if you as a man eliminate your dominance because you don't want to get looked at like a dictator, you have to be okay with knowing that you're not dictating. You will get called names for being a leader. They don't see the vision. And when you go out and you see a full fucking snow, if it's snow and nobody put their tracks in there to set, nobody know which way to go. But the moment you start blazing the trail, guess what they get to do? Walk in your footsteps in order to not have to worry about the snow getting into their shoe. But they're going to complain about your first steps you take because they can't see it. And the fact of the matter is, as a leader, you just got to be okay with that, knowing like, you know what, y'all might not agree with these decisions today, but in the long run, I understand that it's going to benefit the bigger picture. I know where you're going. I know why you're looking at me like that. We'll come back to it though. But yeah. All right, but the fact of the matter is, when you eliminate your dominance because you're afraid, you trying to. It's a difference between being fair and being equal, and I think that women argue fairness. And shit ain't fair. Like, it's not fair that I gotta take care of you and it's okay, but the moment that I'm living off of you, I'm a fucking bum. That's not fair. It's not fair that you can sucker punch me and somehow, some way, I'm still wrong for getting sucker punched. It's not fair that you can cheat on me, but the moment I say, oh, well, what wasn't you doing as a man that she cheated on you? But if I cheat on you, or I'm a dog ass nigga, none of that shit is fair, right? But the fact of the matter is, it's equal things that leverage out in our favor and it's equal things that leverage out. Women will never be okay with the advantages that men have in life. They will always find an issue with it. So you trying to make shit fair. It's like we watching a basketball game. Like, all right, we called a foul on them. Now we got to call a foul on this team. We called a violation on this team. Now we got like, no, it's you violated 10 times. You get 10 penalties. You was in the right. Y'all don't get penalized. Y'all trying to make it equal from a fairness standpoint. No, equal just means that we both have a certain level of authority in certain areas, and that's what it is. So me and you when you have a business partner, it's like, all right, cool. We have this 50-50 split where it's like, these are your responsibilities, these are my responsibilities. If you don't show up, you get held accountable. If I don't show up, I get held accountable. But it's not fair. Like, it's not to say like, oh, you did it this day, you do it that day, you unplug this, you unplug. So it's like you are literally eliminating the area in which you need to be leading, which is in a way that's conducive to what you can stand based on your foresight. So if you're going to sit here and say, oh, well, we're going to get a new spot, hypothetically speaking, we're going to get a new crib because we just getting together, that got to be your decision to make. You can't start that decision. You just bought a crib. Your management needs to look like, I'm going to bring you into this space and allow it to be whatever we need to do, whether it's add you to the deed or do this and do that to make you feel comfortable so that you feel like it's yours. But we're not about to uproot everything just because you want it to be like, we're not doing that. That don't even make fucking sense. And for the men that's out there that's watching, I want y'all to understand this, like, bro, when they say have a backbone, like, dog, be okay with being disagreed with. That's a huge deficiency in men now. It's like, we want to be validated in a way by women to a point where they are subconsciously controlling situations by way of their complaints. You allow her to complain you into some bills. Like, no, fuck no. You're going to be complaining about us not having it before you be sitting here complaining about us having it and I'm over leveraged. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, and side note to slight pivot, but still relates to what you said, because you talking about the woman's standpoint about that. I actually get, or at least recently have been more annoyed by men trying to be the fair versus equal shit, whatever. I feel like, I ain't
gonna lie, I agree.
Yeah. I feel like men, we typically have a better grasp of like, we understand that women got their double standards.
Yeah.
I hate when a nigga be like, but if it was the other way around, if a woman did it, nigga, shut the fuck up. Like, we already know this. No, like, do you want to be like, so what, like, so you've been seeing that as well? And I feel
that shit is frustrating because it's like, it's delusional. I never like to see men being delusional. It's like, bro, as a man, one of the things that I said prior was like, when we get our heart broke, we don't become heartless. We are just not naive no more. And I think that to be at this level of manhood and still be naive to the working wonders of the leverage or the benefits that women have over in exchange to the ones that we don't have, and to complain about it, you operating on the wrong frequency. Like it's just like one of the things where I would say, like, bro, you gotta learn how to live with that. It's like we are men, so we've played sports, we fought, we did so many things where you know that we're playing basketball, this motherfucker is 6'7", he could dunk, I'm 5'9" and some change, right? And I want my change. I have different advantages than this motherfucker. I'm low center of gravity to the ground, so if he dribbling high, I'm gonna pluck him. But at the same time, he get the ball in the post, it's curtains. He putting it in the basket. We understand that.
And then if it's a different type of 6'7" nigga that you ain't stripping up,
But it's going to be different advantages in different situations. We were taught that in sports. We literally know, damn, this motherfucker fast. Damn, this motherfucker got strong hands. He can catch. Damn, this motherfucker can throw the ball 70 yards. Damn, this person. People were meant to be put in some predicaments. So if a woman has certain advantages, it's just one of the things where instead of complaining about them and trying to see to elaborate even further on your point, I think that to that fair thing, I think men, that's where the 50-50 shit come from. Why I gotta pay this shit by myself? Why they ain't gotta pay? It's like, bro, do you really want to give up dominion for 50%? Like for fighting? That's not a smart trade to me. I'm not giving you half my crib, right? Metaphorically speaking. Like I'm saying, like even if like you got a roommate, I'm not giving up half my crib and half the say so in my crib to get paid half the rent. I'm gonna just get a smaller crib and pay all the rent. Like you know what I'm saying? Like because who the fuck want to split a car? Yo, Q, I got it Monday to Thursday. You got it Thursday to Sunday. Make sure you bring. I don't even want to split my. I wouldn't want to be splitting kids because I would want to be on one accord. Who the fuck wants to be in a situation where you got to split every decision? So why the fuck would you want to go 50-50? What's happening is you over leveraging yourself because you allowing her to take you past the gap. And I say this is my thing. If I say I could do $2,200 a month for rent, because that's standard, right? I'll do $2,200 a month for $2,400 for a standardized townhouse. I can do $2,400 a month for rent. If she want to live somewhere that's $3,100, you're paying that $700. That's the gap. You got to do that gap pay. For me, I know what the budget is, what I can sustain 100% of. Anything above that, you gonna meet me there. Because it's one of them things where this is why I say if you meet a woman and she already paying $3,100 a month, you can't bring her back down to $2,400 because that don't make sense. You out of your range. I wouldn't tell you to do that. I would say, you know what? Let her be where she at, and then you come there and you let her be where you at. You stay where you at because you don't have to be in a situation where you overextending yourself and you can't be in a situation where you're trying to shrink her. But if it's a situation where you know you can do $2,400 and this woman's coming from a $1,200 apartment, but she want to go to a $3,100 townhouse because they got marble backsplash, I'm gonna keep saying, or marble countertops and this type of floors and all that cool shit, then she got to pay that $700. That's the only time I would say, you know, you contribute to the overhead. And it's when you're not giving them no equity in the decision making. Because the only reason we here is because I comply with you. But I'm not about to have my $2,400 budget but bring it down to $1,700 and let you put up $7 just to feel like you're doing something if it's going to compromise me being able to lead the way I want to. Now, do situations happen where men have a 70-30 split and it work? Absolutely, because I learned that you do need to keep women in productivity, or they'll get lazy. It just is inevitable. But in large part, you shouldn't be complaining and aiming for that. That should be something that you land on. It shouldn't be like, this girl never want to help out with the bills. She never want to take the trash out. And then you wondering why she just being masculine, essentially. This is where that masculine energy comes from. What you about to say, though?
But to work through the thought, though, so you saying 24 is the budget, she want to do 31, so she got to pay the gap.
Yeah.
But is that a way to set yourself up down the line if it's like, now, isn't that still give them dominion?
No, because from a dominion standpoint, no. I thought you was going to say set yourself up to get over leveraged. Yes, I see that. Because that's a good point. You can still end up over leveraged if she stopped paying a 7, right? But see me, I'll just pay to break the lease and go back to where I want to go. So you know what I'm saying? I'm just giving them that month and a half, keep the security deposit, I'm out. Like, we're going back. So that's my thoughts for any man that might end up in that situation. You can use that literally. But as far as no. Because that's more of an adjusted compromise than it is we meet in there. Literally, I'm doing this to make you happy. You're paying for your extension. It's like, I used to have this thing where me and my friends used to go out of town, whatever case may be, and I was the guy that always wanted to get the best rental, best room. Niggas like, we not doing that. Anything over that, you gonna pay. I still do that to this day. Did nobody gave up dominion for that. I paid what I wanted, and I'm okay with it because it's what I wanted. You didn't have to compromise. This person had to compromise. All I had to do was pay for what I wanted, and everybody's happy. Whereas though, again, it's if I want to pay 24 and then I want to bring it down to 17, then I feel like, because it's like now she didn't even get what she wanted and she still got to comply. That's when it's like, well, what am I getting for my 700? You get some of the decision making in terms of like things that should just be flat and straight what it is. We gotta fucking confer about it, and no, I don't feel like going and have a conference about it. I'm cool.
Got you. Kind of on the same token, you know, cause I was talking to my stepdad. My dad came in for my daughter's birthday, so you know, I spoke about the saga. We hashed out our disconnect by certain things, whatever. So I feel that also brings the idea of like, you know, we often talk about daddy issues with women, but I think an unspoken thing that goes on is the daddy issues of men.
Absolutely.
That probably leads to like the shit like this going on.
The funny thing about having daddy issues as a man is that most of the time as men, we don't even realize that it's daddy issues, right? You'll hear somebody say it, and a woman will say it to you in a slur. You got daddy issues too, and as a defense mechanism to us talking about their daddy issues. But our daddy issues look a little different. And I'll tell you in what it looks like, right? Most of the time, it identifies as us seeking validation from older men. And it's like, it's always kind of trying to fill that void, whether it's a big brother or trying to have like that male mentor or just like any male figure. You always want them to give you that attaboy. And another thing what it does is it makes us overcompensate out of fear, because when you're young, you got to think, when you incapable of defending yourself against stronger men, you want to be protected as well. And not having that dad there to protect you both by giving you guidance and mentorship, because a dad, physical protection turns to wisdom really fast. It goes to, I can't fight your battles in your teenage years. Like literally my step pop from the rip, we 12, we lining up with the whole park. Y'all not about to jump them, but y'all not about to run. So we fighting 7, 8 people. And that male figure gave me that. But I also really realized when I had a conversation with my dad, I'm like, damn, I remember being in my early 20s. And just, you want that sense of like that man that you know gonna do whatever to make sure you cool, not even financially, but just from a protection standpoint. So you kind of seek that in other men, essentially, like damn, like I want to feel like you validate me, or you are reassuring me, or you got my back. And it don't really happen at the friend level. It happened typically from a mentor level, where it's like we always seeking that. Think about it. Do you have any mentors? Well, no. You because you and your dad, you kind of had your dad.
I definitely had my dad.
Yeah, so you had your dad and your stepdad. I had my stepdad, but you know, even so, I realized I'm like, my stepdad was my dad, right. So that filled that void. But I could see in pockets of my life where
disconnect.
Yeah, I would want that sense of like that validity from that, and it's never like in a seeking way where it's like you doing shit to get validated. It's just when you do it, you want to feel like, you know, damn, like I made this older person proud of me, because you never got that I'm proud of you from your dad. And then the other part about it is just never being able to see that example of his fuck ups. You get deprived of that. So it's like now as a man, you don't know how to fuck up as a man, because you never saw the example of what it's like to fuck up and then recover. Because you don't have that figure. So this where the mentorship come in at. You start to seek the men that have experience to give you that wisdom and that game and that guidance that you never got from your dad. And then you ridicule yourself in a way that's not quantifiable or measurable, because you don't have nothing to measure it against. But when you can measure yourself to your dad, or I'm trying to do better than my dad, or I'm trying to get to where my dad at, or I'm not trying to end up like my dad, it gives you something measurable and tangible to be like, you know what, this is the path I'm gonna take. But when you don't have that example at all, you just kind of winging it and hoping that people got your best interest at heart and gonna guide you. And in most cases, when you're a young man, you get taken advantage of by older men that don't got the right intentions. When I say that, I'm talking about from this is how you end up a crash out. This is how you end up committing certain fucking acts and doing certain things, like, you know, on the street side of things, where it's like, because you taking guidance from a motherfucker that don't really got your best interest at heart, but you want that. You want that guidance. You want that validation. You're like, this is my old head. This is my big bro. You'll think that a motherfucker buy you all the shit that's sending you down the wrong path. You think this your old head, but the motherfucker that's telling you all the right shit to do, you think he a fucking lame, and you can't really rock with him. And that all come from just wanting to feel validated in a sense, because that person gonna validate you. Yeah, because you know they're going, whatever they label you, that's what you are. And you gonna carry that title with pride. And if they labeling you a YN that's on some shit, that's how you gonna move because you want that validation. But when you got your dad there, he cut that. You're not about to be out here on no dickhead shit. You're not about to be doing this, and you start to see his validation, and his validation can guide you down the right path. This is why I'm not the guy that I would never tell, even with my nephews and whatever, the younger men in my family, my little cousins, I don't validate bullshit. I understand it, but I only validate the shit that's like respectable. Like when they do something fair, like handling their responsibilities, like go get an apartment, go get a new car. I'm gonna validate that because I want you to know, like, if you want my approval, I'm only respecting this. You a man, you want to be respected. This is what I respect. I'm not respecting you because you moving like that. I ain't saying that it ain't gonna be times where you gotta, defend yourself or handle yourself a certain way. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not about to sit here and validate you doing bullshit. But if it's a motherfucker that don't give a fuck about you, he is gonna validate the bullshit. And because we don't have that male presence to combat it with, or that measurable example, we think that this is what it should look like. And a lot of people just look up to role models that shouldn't be their role model because they didn't have one.
First thought is, you ever seen The Bronx Tale?
Yeah, but I'm lost on it.
Yeah. Great classic movie. And see, I suggest everybody watch the movie because it's about, a kid who dad was just a bus driver, a regular, 9-to-5 guy.
Yeah, I remember. He started getting involved with the mafia.
Yeah, and his OG was, the big boss in the neighborhood, whatever.
Yep.
But the dope thing, so the typical thing on the face is like, he gonna be the crash out with him. Yeah. Your dad is lame. Of course, you're going to gravitate towards him. But by the end of it, the big he was thorough the whole time, of course. Yeah. But the big homie actually wasn't he actually did want the best for him. He was just, a nuanced person where I'm doing what I'm doing, but you ain't able to follow this path.
Yeah, you do have that too, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's when they give a fuck about you.
Right. So that was just a dope at the end of the day, but you understand the dad's position was like, as a man, as the person want to protect you, I see, because you may not have the maturity to not follow him.
Yeah.
He would say, no, don't follow me. Yeah. But 9 times out of 10,
you might get influenced.
Exactly. Just
look up to you.
Exactly. So that's what the dad's trying to use the foresight to be like. But at the same time, you about to step to that nigga, and because that's what come with that. So I
gotta protect your young.
Exactly,
so like your dad putting himself in a predicament to make sure that you're cool. And when you don't have that, what I was gonna say about us overcompensating, that's when we resort to aggression faster. And if you feel inadequate from a physical standpoint, you're gonna find other means and measures to be able to protect yourself, and that's why it's happening younger and faster because of that lack of male presence. But when you got a man to teach you responsibilities, to teach you discipline, to teach you why, right? Because like I always say, a woman could take care of a man but can't raise a man, and women understand it. Girls get mad. Women understand it's like, when it come down to it, you could tell him what you seen men do, but you cannot explain to him why a man has to go through these things. And as a nurturer, it's certain things that you're not going to be able to withstand your son going through. It's just what it is. Like my mom wouldn't have been able to see us fighting, coming out bloody, busted mouth, busted lips. Now, granted, my mom was a little different. She was go out there and fuck something up. But it's certain things, even when it used to come down to us getting punished a certain way, she would always try to sever it a little bit to make it less. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, no, that's not going to make us men. So having a male to be able to teach you how to be a man, that's why if you don't have if a mom is a single mom with kids, I say get them around male figures, get them with sports, find them a mentor fast that really care about them so they could guide them into manhood. Because a boy don't become a man. This is why we got a lot of grown boys out here. You got to be taught how to be a man. So having those male examples give you a barometer as a man. And then having their wisdom gives you the ability to be able to lean on it when you need it. Like, all right, I've been in this predicament before. I could teach you how to go around it. Or if it's something that they didn't have, that I at least got your back. And I think that as men, that's the part that like women got that community, but men, we need that village of like just knowing that my homies got my back, my dad got my back, this person got my back. Like I don't need you to go out in the ring. I guess like being in the ring. I don't need you to get in the ring for me. I just need you in a corner when I come back for you to tell me when I ain't see. Yo, look, keep your head up. Look, slip that. He keep throwing the same. That guidance. And that's what men need more than anything. Men don't need you to solve their problem. We need it be guidance. And that's why as men, where we at and where we stand, that's why we give so much guidance, because it's like understanding that if you was in a fight and you know that you got to fight your own battles, we men, nobody can solve your problems. This is why a woman can't come in and make a man's life easier. You got to learn how to get in the ring and handle it, but having a corner to go back to get that insight, that knowledge on what you're not seeing helps you put together a better fight or whatever case may be in order for you to be able to come out victorious. But not having nobody in your corner, and you just going out there and you now say, you know, when you boxing, I don't know if you have a spar, you get hit. Sometimes you lose your composure.
Absolutely.
And now you just throwing shit. Now everything is 7 and 8. Like all 3s, 4s, 7, 8s, everything is a wow. There's no 1, 2s. You're not setting them up with the jab. You just going in there and doing whatever versus actually allowing the fight to come to you. But when you got somebody to be like, yo, relax.
Calm yourself down.
Calm yourself down. You got this. I got you. You feel a little bit more confident. And, you know, it's when we have our male figures in our life, you know, whether it be fathers, uncles, older brothers, it gives us that confidence. And that's why you always see men who have men in their life confident amongst men. They're not insecure. They're not comparative. They don't naturally possess. I ain't saying no man, but it's like in large part, they're not naturally walking around jealous. I ain't gonna say it ain't probably envy every now and again because they two sides are different, 2 sides of the same coin. But it's not jealousy, which is like more on the other side of things. Just like, no, they just be on the tip like, yo, that motherfucker smarter than me. That motherfucker better than me, but I'm gonna get better. I'm the best at what I can do. And they confident, and it's because you already know your big brother was stronger than you. You already know your dad was stronger than you. So you already had that component to be able to work through to know that how can I get this motherfucker? You playing a game with your older brother, how the fuck can I beat this person? You know what I mean? At one point you want to get over on your dad, how can I? And you have that dynamic to go off versus you being around women who's gonna coddle you, stroke your ego. Oh, you so handsome. You gonna get so many girls when you get older. Like, and you just getting spoiled. Then you get around men and they treating you like men. You feel like it's personal. Like, nah, nigga, you just never had that male energy around you. And it's never too late, bro. Like, let go of them ways and get around men and be okay with that. But like I said, the land on the validation thing and the daddy issues, it's just like, we overcompensate in so many ways. Like, that's why, and it's just because we don't know when you don't know how to be a man because you never was taught by a man, you just kind of be winging it and you trying to seek what man gonna show you that, and you got to just hope and with good faith that you run into men that leading you with good intentions versus the ones that's going to steer you astray.
Yeah, and a few thoughts about that. To the fight part, the great thing about fighting is no matter how strong you are, no matter how hard you hit and how fast you are, when you get hit, and you like that shit, like it's like because boxing, fighting, and life, endurance shit, all that shit is mental. Like, it don't matter how much work you put into anything, if your mental not strong, if you can't endure some shit, all that shit go right out the window. 100%. So I think that's the great thing that boxing teach you, and just going through shit and wisdom is like, you gotta get your mind together and your emotions together to be able to withstand manhood, obstacles, tribulations, all that type of shit, whatever.
Yeah. I always say life is a 12-round fight. Like every year is a 12-round fight. Every month. It's 12 months in a year. Every month gonna be different. And it's a fight. So you gotta figure out how you can go all 12 rounds without getting knocked the fuck out by your bills, getting knocked the fuck out by stress and worry, getting knocked the fuck out by debt, all these different things. Not giving up. Right? So if you look at that round by round, you might like, damn, round 2, I fell behind a little bit, but I still got 10 more rounds to catch up to go the leaders fight in a winnable predicament versus me just getting my ass, but you get knocked down and you just stay down, motherfucker down for 6 months. You didn't let 6 rounds pass and you never got back on your feet. So the ref didn't counted you out multiple times and you wondering why everybody left the fight. You ain't even participating no more. You want somebody to sit through that? Nobody gonna sit through you being in a slump. Motherfuckers gonna encourage you. Get the fuck up. You got this. Do this. And if you take it round by round, which is month by month, you'll realize that you ain't got to get it all back in one round. Like, you don't got to catch up. You get knocked down in the first round. You don't got to try to come out swinging and try to get a knockout the second round. You just got to walk the fight down. Yeah. You walk it down by round 9. If you win all 8 of them rounds, whether you kind of just controlling the pace of the fight,
10-9.
More, it don't matter. A bunch of 10-9. The scorecards start to swing in your favor. Before you know, by the end of it is unanimous. And understanding that life is going to hit you. Life is going to sucker punch the shit out you. Life loves to do it. Like, it's not like one of them things where life just sitting back like, no, life is looking for a shot. Throw your hands up. life is looking for a shot to knock you the fuck out. And by knocking you out, I'm talking about in terms of like finances, like you running in your car went down, you lost your girl or your man, or
job.
Like, this is for the men specifically. So you lost your girl, you lost your job, your kid's not speaking to you. These are all blows that can knock you the fuck, hit you in the shit, damn, I'm down. And you gotta be the one that gets yourself back up. And that's when your faith come into play, and it's like, yo, you know what? I got this shit. I can walk this shit the fuck down. There's no situation that I can't overcome. But the fight is over the moment you stop thinking like that. The moment you start feeling like you got knocked the fuck out and life won that round, and you ain't fighting back, then you gonna end up finding yourself down the line and you ain't did shit to get back up and you just fucked up out here. No, take that shit one run at a time, one round at a time, and just start to close in on a fight, and you got it.
Yeah, and I also, so back to you say your mom, you know, she couldn't take certain things. Yeah, I even think about, you made a great point, because, you know, my mom, she was a tough mom as well. Yeah. You know, but I definitely remember certain punishments where she'd be like, all right, you can turn the TV on. Like, I remember those days where it's like, all right, you can do this, whatever.
She don't want to be the bad guy.
Yeah. So she didn't have the stamina to keep it up, for sure. Yeah. Now, as far as like my dad's, absolutely, like, you know, I knew this when I was a kid for sure, but it's just, we spoke about this recently, where it's like, as I got older, I started to appreciate my dad's life even more, because I always understood, and like, his life is the epitome of the marathon. Like, you know, I seen him when he was in his 20s and 30s, and then when he started leveling up in certain ways, whatever, and he told me this infamous story when he was going from this stage to the next stage, whatever, and my life mirrored that in a certain way, like, where I knew it in real time. Oh shit! Like, when my dad went through, he had to do this 1,000 times, and it did it, and it finally broke through, and it was this, like that. So I was telling him recently about it. He was like, "Oh, I never, you know, my dad, you know, he ain't that sharp, you know, that's the same." I know that's the same exact story. I know. I told you. Your story.
I went through that. I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you right now. Yes, I understand.
It's a full circle moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So I always appreciated his arc and realizing, like, to your point of what to do or what not to do. I thought my dad life was, but yeah, like, no, like, I'm gonna do that, whatever. And my stepdad, in certain ways, what could you do, what to do, but also a lot of what not to do, whatever. But still be a thorough, great, you know, person, man. Yeah. But like, no, what you know, what you could do more of, whatever. And my mom, you know, recently, I've, as an older man, building my own family, and, you know, trying to be more of the presence in my family as a whole, outside of my immediate family. I started realizing, damn, like, how my family could be different if there were more men around. Because, you know, my granddad wasn't around, and, you know, my mom, my dad, they broke up. Then my stepdad, you know, that's the whole thing. Where I was like, yeah, like, if y'all just had men that were just together for decades, how would the family be different, and how would y'all be different as women? Because, like,
how think of the trickle effect to the children, to the cousins, to the, like, all of the trickle effect that boils down from just having it being structured up top.
Yeah, with women just leading shit.
No, I'm saying with the men presence, like how. Right. Oh yeah, how the benefit.
If the man was there,
you need that balance, man. I feel like that's the thing. I don't get mad at feminine energy. I think that's another thing when we talk about, you were saying the equality, fairness thing. I say it all the time to men. Like, I never understood why men get frustrated with a woman for nagging and complaining. And that's literally feminine energy. That's what they gonna do. It's like they are striving for perfection, so they're gonna find things that are imperfect to complain about. And a lot of the times it's gonna be you, nigga. And it's like, when you understand that, you don't take it personal. You just find ways to mitigate it. I've started to choose, what am I okay with hearing? So I don't want her nagging about these things, so I'm going to excel here. But I don't really give a fuck if she complain about me being on the game with my friends. Live with it. I'm going to be on this game 4 hours, because I know the other 90% I'm showing up. I'm done. But you ain't about to nag about me not taking the trash out, and me not paying the bills on time. I ain't doing all that. I'm going to just knock that shit out, because that's violent. But if you nagging about some shit that make me happy, I don't care, cry in the car. That's on you. But what I see a lot of men, they actually thinking that they're going to find a woman that don't nag is like, when I say a woman, that's like a woman trying to find a man that's not going to be a man. It's like when we say a man going to be a man, I don't know how the fuck they interpret that. They take it to the bottom of the slums. But I'm just saying, like, whether it's just logical thinking or some men that's still lustful and hunting and chasing, and it's so many different things that identify in the male and masculine energy that's like not conducive, that just going to exist. Just like in so many things that exist in the female energy that's not conducive that exists. But on a beneficial side, it's worth it, because we need the balance. Like, I'm overly systematic in certain areas when it comes to raising my kids. And that's not always called for. They need that. They need mom to sometimes say, how long you put you on punishment for? 3 weeks. No, turn the TV on. Like, it's a balance, right?
Sure.
Because without it, we run in the fucking...
It's Russia.
Shit's a confinement camp. Get up. Eat, go back in the room. You know what I mean? But when a woman is forced to kind of play that role, because they don't never want to be the bad guy. And it's crazy, because I know we could probably walk this into the next conversation. But what I will say is like, damn, I think I set my foot in the future, so it'll come back. But well, they don't want to be that figure or whatever the case may be. But that's what I was gonna say. It's funny because they think that they want the good that men get, but they don't want to deal with what we really deal with. And what I mean by that is, right, a lot of times as men, because we work a lot, we get to show up with gifts for our kids, and we the fun parent, and the kids is like, oh my gosh, daddy's home. Like, kids don't get hype about mommy coming in, because mommy complaining, mommy got something to say, but daddy walk in, oh my God, daddy. We might be burnt out, but like, fuck, I gotta give you some energy. I gotta play. You know what I'm saying? I gotta FaceTime you, whatever the case may be, because you are expecting that level of energy from me because it's already scarce. It's already limited because I'm always working. But so because I'm always working, I want to compensate and bring you the gifts and all that. So we have that dynamic. And women envy the fuck out of it, right? So then when you get a woman that gets that from their kids, they don't want to give that part up where it's like mommy gets to save the day. Mommy the one that came through with this. Mommy did that. But then when it's time to punish her, mommy don't want to do that part. So it's like if daddy not around to take on that, mommy look at like the hero, like what we do get, but it's that balance because we still got to be the disciplinarian. So it's like I'm still going to be afraid of dad a little bit, but I'm happy to see him because I don't get to see him because he always working. But when it's like mom always working and mom coming all the way through, but when it's time to kind of go through them problems, it might be a lot of yelling. It might be a lot of, because a lot of times they think discipline is yelling. Discipline is structure.
Still yelling.
It's just like, no, they really think it's yelling. They think like if I yell at the kids, because we might put some, they think it's bass in your voice. You got some bass in your voice. Yo, I said, what I say? They think that that's the discipline. Like, what I say? They not understanding. It's the boundary behind what I said. It's the fact that I said if you do it again, I'm really going to, and for the most part.
They're standing on it.
That's how I say. For the most part, they not going to stand on it. We going to stand on it, and that's the part, that's the gap. So it's like y'all want the things that we get by being masculine when it comes with being a hero, but when it comes to actually being a villain, y'all don't want no parts of it. And now it's like the kid is not really getting that duality that they need to be a functioning human being because they only getting rewarded, and when it's time to get punished, they get yelled at, but there's no real business being stood on. But us as men, we standing on business, and that's where the masculine balance come in at, because on the reverse side of things, when they need to go cry to mommy instead of us being logical, just go cry to your mom. Because I'm really heavy on her. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I had to catch myself. I don't say that shit like, yo. Because my not giving a fuck about the tears is not about how they feel. It's about what's happening next. It's like, feel all that shit, but after that, you still going to your room. Like, whereas though, having that balance of the mom, they might really get out the room for a couple hours, and that's cool. That's dope. But we kind of need that. And I'll unpack it more, in a real conversation, but that was one of the things that kind of made me realize, like, they want to be the masculine side when they look at we get to show up and get the praise for paying the stuff. Oh, the men get all of the praise when we do shit, but when it comes time to actually be the villain, be disliked and be disagreed with and got everybody questioning you, they don't want that part.
Yep, not facts.
Yeah.
Landed there?
Yeah, where we at? Yeah. All right, cool. I was about to say, it didn't feel like we hit our mark yet, but I'll accept that. But yeah. All in all, man, that was good, man. You already know. We're going here. All right, cool. Big shout out to our sponsor. Make sure y'all go shop with her fantasy box. You know what I'm saying? As always, we want y'all to get 1% better every single day and every single way. And we want y'all to share these conversations out because as y'all know, as y'all let people know, we continue to grow. And that's what we ultimately want to do. We don't want these conversations to stop here. We want them to start here. And as always, if y'all see something that y'all want us to talk about, want us to elaborate more on, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, hit us up, let us know, because we want to elaborate as much as needed and necessary to be able to help everybody get better in the manner in which you need to get better. Whatever you take from it, build on it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need more clarity on, let us know, because again, we want to build on these conversations as well. And as always, man, you already know where y'all can find me at Wolf WSC. Y'all can find the network at wolfnetwork.wsc. Y'all can find, where they can find you at?
Ryan Q Live as in the right side on QUE Live.
Y'all can find Ricky B. Philly at Ricky B. Philly. And y'all can find the podcast on the Wolf Network YouTube channel, the Wolf Has Spoken Podcast. And y'all can find the audio, the Wolf Has Spoken Podcast, on all audio streaming platforms, whether it be Apple Podcast app or whatever the case may be. It's everywhere. Make sure y'all go check it out. And as always, man, until next time, if y'all need advertisement, get with us, man. Let's get it. The Wolf Has Spoken.